plus 5 is 13, so we can do this for 13, and then hopefully it gets tripled, and then doubled, and then doubled. Or, yeah, hopefully it gets tripled and then doubled is what I'm hoping for, but maybe this high noon will actually block us. Oh, but it doesn't look like it. Yes, we got them. Bap. Oh, they're gaining some life. Bap, 13 damage. This, yeah, so we're going to double it right now. Yes, and then do another 13 damage. That was awesome, and I'm actually really happy. I was kind of nervous for a second. I thought high noon might... No, I guess not, because it says each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. This is us casting one spell, and then this just says copy it. You may choose new copies. So, yeah, that was a perfect game. Wait, 13 plus 11 is 24 minus 2, so we can do this for 22. All right, pay 22, yes. There we go, and now this gets doubled, so we're going to be dealing 44 damage to them because it gets doubled. Oh, I could have even done even more because Vivi can add 8 mana. Wow, there's too much going on in this deck, but yeah, Fireball for 22, and then another Fireball for 22. I think we could have added 7 extra mana, so we could have done it for 29. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video. I think we have Momo joining us in the background. She's going absolutely crazy with her little toy. But don't mind her. But today we are playing with a kind of a jank deck. I saw this combo online and I was like, all right, I have to try it. It looks like so much fun. Everyone is playing with that green Chocobo. You know, it's that landfall deck where they could just get their Chocobo up to such incredible power and finish you that way. That does take a few turns to do that. And I thought, hey, let's actually go with a Chocobo that can just one-shot the opponent. And that is with the Choco Comet. Choco Comet deals X damage to any target. So we will be launching a meteorized-sized comet at the opponent and deal hopefully 20 damage in one turn. Of course, that means that you do have to make X be equal to 18 because you need 2 mana to cast this spell. No, sorry, you need 22 mana then because the 2 red and then plus X, if we're trying to one-shot the opponent, X is going to have to be 20. That is, of course, a lot of mana to sink into. Hopefully, we don't need to sink in 20 mana to do that because I want to try this other card from Final Fantasy that is Summon GF Cerberus, the 3-headed dog. Chapter 1 says Surveil, so look at the top card of your library, and then you can either throw it in the graveyard or keep it there if you want. But it's the Chapter 2, and I hope to pull this combo off on Chapter 3. But Chapter 2 is a double whenever you cast your next instant spell or sorcery. You can choose new copies for it. And then the Chapter 3 is just triple. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, you may copy it twice. So I've tested this out. If you spend 2 mana to cast Choco Comet, and then let's say you do X for 5, I'm just throwing a number out there, that 5 additional mana that you sunk into this one, that does get doubled as well, and potentially tripled as well. So, I mean, if we do get the GF Cerberus onto Chapter 3, then we will need at least X to be 7, because 7 times 3 is 21. So that's how we would finish the opponent that way. That still is quite a bit of mana to sink into that. You'll need 9 mana on the battlefield, so 2 to cost the Choco Comet, and then, of course, the 7 mana to finish off the opponent. So one of the best ways in Standard to, you know, kind of get some good cost reduction going is, of course, with the Mindsplice Apparatus. And unfortunately, we will be losing this card when rotation comes up, which is just a few days away. I believe it's July 30th, the very end of July. We will be losing the 5 oldest sets in Standard right now. And Mindsplice Apparatus is in the, I believe it's Phyrexia All Will Be One set, so we will be losing it, which is unfortunate, just because a lot of the decks that I'm making for you guys nowadays, I'm trying not to include those because I have seen quite a few new people to Arena watching my videos and stuff, so I'm just trying to keep my decks that I'm brewing as Standard friendly as possible. And since this is a card that is rotating out of Standard, maybe don't craft it because you will only have, you know, maybe 2 weeks to play with it. But like I said, this is one of the best ways to get some good cost reduction in. On turn 4, we want to keep some mana open, go into the opponent's turn, and then flash in the Mindsplice Apparatus. And then at the beginning of our upkeep every turn, we get to put an oil counter on the Mindsplice Apparatus, and instants and sorcery spells cost 1 generic mana less for each oil counter on the Mindsplice Apparatus. So hopefully you can get this up to, 3, 4, or 5. And then you can pay, for Chocobo's Comet, you can just sink in an additional, 3, 4, or 5 mana, thanks to the Mindsplice Apparatus, into the X cost there. And then finally, another card. I personally think he's too busted, but it's Vivi. Everyone is playing Vivi right now in the Izzet kind of Spell Slinger deck. He has the ability where basically every turn, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you get to put a counter on Vivi, and then for 0 mana, you can activate this, and it is only on your turn, but you can add X mana in any combination, so either red or blue, where X is equal to Vivi's power. So that is another way that we can kind of, sneakily get in some additional mana as well. If you get Vivi down on turn 3, and then we start casting some spells and we get the Mindsplice down, hopefully we get the Mindsplice down and maybe it gets up to 3 oil counters, and we've cast a few instants and sorceries to get Vivi also up to 3 or 4 free mana that we can add. Then that's about 8 mana right there. Plus all the lands that we have at that point should be enough to get us to one-shot the opponent with the Choco Comet. So yeah, that's kind of the deck. The rest of the deck is just a few counter spells with 3 steps ahead. We'll also be able to use it to draw, and if it is later in the game, we can also create a token that's either a copy of an artifact, so it can be a copy of the Mindsplice Apparatus, which would be really nice, or a copy of a creature. Unfortunately, Vivi is legendary, so scrap that one. But yeah, 3 steps ahead, primarily our counter spell. Can also use it to draw 2 cards and then discard a card, but we have so much other draw in the deck with Stock Up, one of the best cards in Standard right now, I think. Definitely in the color blue, at least. Look at the top 5, and then you get to put 2 of them in your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. We have Ill-Timed Explosion. This is sort of a 2-for-1 card because you can draw 2 cards, and then you may discard up to 2 cards. And then when you do discard cards, and again, you don't have to do this, but when you do, Ill-Timed Explosion will deal X damage to all creatures on board, where X is the greatest mana value that we discard. So, if you discard 1 Mindsplice Apparatus, for instance, you'll do 4 damage to the opponent. But yeah, primarily just for some card draw and a little bit of board wipe as well. And then I'm also trying out the Roaring Furnace for 2 mana. This room enters and it deals damage to a creature equal to the number of cards in our hand. So hopefully we have, 4, 5, 6 cards in our hands, so we can do 4, 5, or 6 damage to a creature. And then we could also, for 5 mana, unlock this room to get the Steaming Sauna, where we have no maximum hand size, and then at the beginning of our end step, we get to draw an extra card. So yeah, that's kind of the whole deck. Abrade and Flood Maw, just a little bit of removal and bounce just to keep the board clear. So yeah, that's kind of the decks. Like I said, I saw this kind of janky combo, and I was like, all right, I have to try it out for you guys as well. I literally just saw someone ask if a GF Cerberus does that stack with the Choco Comet, and it does. Like I said, I tested it out myself, so I was like, that looks like a really fun janky combo. I'm gonna definitely have to try it out for you guys as well. So I might maybe make 1 or 2 edits along the way, because this is version 1 of the deck. But yeah, let's just jump into some games and see how the deck does. All right, guys, we go first, and we have more or less the full combo in hand. Just need to find a stock up. Sorry, not stock up. We need to find a Mindsplice Apparatus. I'll go ahead and bin a land for now, just because we do have stock up available to us. And I'm sure we will hit our 4th land drop, no problem. We see right there, we even drew our 4th land. Deep Cavern Bat, that you don't like to see, but we'll see what he takes from us. Might be Into the Flood Maw. If it's stock up, then I guess we just bounce the bat. Alright, we will go with stock up. Take a Mindsplice. And I guess an Ill-Timed Explosion. Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully no more hand hate right now. All right. And since we're not under the most amount of pressure, I want to flash in Mindsplice Apparatus, because then we'll start getting a discount on all of our spells. Ooh, Unholy Annex. So they are a demon deck, even though we haven't seen any demons yet. We will be taking 3 damage, which I'm fine with. And then they are going to lose 2 life and draw a card. We get an oil counter. We hit a land drop, which is great. So let's just go with a ill-timed explosion for 3 mana. Could also go for a stock up for 2 mana. Let's do that. Let's do 2 mana stock up, and we'll take an Into the Flood Maw. I think we're good on lands. Let's take an Abrade. So let's go ahead and end the turn. Next turn, I think we might try and get down Cerberus. That guy is not a demon, so that's fine. Oh, we do lose tons of life for that, though, so we're definitely going to have to bounce that guy next turn. And, I mean... Oh, that's actually a really nice draw. I was going to say we could get down Cerberus, but I know for sure they just have a kill spell, so it really is going to have to be... It really is going to have to be the Mindsplice Apparatus that carries us. Could also choose to remove both these creatures. Let's do that. Let's draw 2 cards, and... That's only 2 damage. I mean, I think we get rid of Cerberus and a land. I know for sure. It's mono black. They 100% have some removal spells, so... So yeah, that's why I chose to get rid of Cerberus. They are gaining a ton of life, though, so... There's another vampire. They do lose 2 life for that. I'm surprised they're not playing any demons. There is a 3 steps ahead, which is really nice because we can choose to create a copy of Mindsplice Apparatus. So, do we do that right now? Nah, let's look to counter their spell. I mean, I know we missed a land drop this turn, which does suck, but I don't think they have any way of removing any artifacts. Ooh, there is a duress. Yeah, that we need to counter. So let's do it like that. Let's create a copy of Mindsplice. Counter that spell, and then go ahead and draw 2 cards. Stock up is amazing, and I guess we'll get rid of an Abrade. We also don't have to one-shot them anymore since we have 2 Chocos. That card is just going to get bounced right now. And yeah, they're going to deal 2 damage to us, gain 2 life, but then they're going to lose 2 life. I don't really see them playing any demons. I know for sure they're playing that infinite like life drain combo. But yeah, now we have 2 Mind Splices going, and we drew a 3rd Chocobo. We did miss a land drop, which honestly kind of sucks for us, but let's just do it like this. So that's 5 right there, minus 2 plus those 4. We can do this for 9. So... But do I want to do it for 9? I don't think so. Let's go with stock up first. Just a 1 mana stock up. You love to see that. And then, yeah, let's take another Mind Splice and another land. And then Choco. I'll just do this for 5 so I can keep 4 mana open. I want to keep 4 mana open so we can flash in this Mindsplice Apparatus, and then with 3 Mindsplice Apparati, I guess it is, then for sure we'll be able to one-shot them. Yeah, we're not doing anything with our graveyard, so that I'm fine with. And yeah, I have a feeling they're just sitting on a bunch of removal. Well, I say that, but they didn't remove this creature, so who knows? Well, there it is, the first one. I'm fine with that. We don't care about those Chocobo tokens whatsoever. Opponent has 3 mana to work with. They go with another Unholy Annex, so now they actually are losing 2 life each turn. I will take 2 damage. That is fine with me. Go to end step. Opponent will lose a bunch of life right now, and we'll flash in our another Mindsplice Apparatus. Get 3 oil counters. Hit a land. So 7, 8. Minus, how much lands do we have here? 2, 5. We can do this for 13. We can nearly one-shot them. You know what? Let's go with Ill-Timed Explosion. We don't need any more. Well, let's do it like this. We'll go ahead and wipe the board. We have 5 mana available, so we'll be able to flash in another Mindsplice at their end step this turn. We do have an Into the Flood Maw. They have 7 mana to work with. They are just going to spend most of it to unlock their Unholy Annex, and ladies and gentlemen, I think we got them. Let's see, when it goes to end step, yeah, we can go ahead and bounce this demon. So they'll actually be losing 4 life right now, and we will flash in our 3rd Mindsplice Apparatus. So each one's going to get an oil counter. They're down to 13. They will have to discard the hand size. We're going to see a removal card hit the graveyard right now. It was Hero's Downfall. We get 4 oil counters. And we hit a... It is a tapped land, so that won't help us at all. How many lands do we have here? 2, 4, 6, 7, minus 2. So we have 5 right here. Plus 5 right here is 10. Plus 6, 16. We can do this for X equals 17. And yeah, unfortunately we don't have Cerberus, but like I said, it's a mono black deck. They for sure were playing a bunch of removal cards. We didn't see them play too many creature cards. So I don't think the combo with Cerberus was going to work right there. Just because I have no doubt that those were cards that could have removed him. So that's why I dropped him off earlier. But yeah, you guys can see, control the board. Our life total, honestly, is a little bit of a resource as well. It doesn't matter if we get down kind of low, because like I said, I felt pretty comfortable for most of that game. That was a pretty clean game, and yeah, we more or less got the combo. We just need to try and double it, hopefully maybe even triple it with Cerberus as well. So we keep going. All right, guys, we go first. 2 lands, kind of rough, kind of risky, but I'm all about that risk. I mean, if anything, we have Roaring Furnace on turn 2. We'll be able to blow up any creature they play. They don't play a creature, which is fine. Authority. So they might be a life gain deck. Could also just be a control deck with a bunch of kill spells. Beza. Day of Judgment. Get Lost. Well, we see a Virtue right there. So, tokens, maybe? Yeah. With a Caretaker's Talent, I don't think we really have any way of getting rid of that. Well, I guess we could bounce it, make them replay it. We did miss a land drop, which sucks, so let's just get in the Roaring Furnace. Can go ahead and add a counter to Vivi. And we can just say... yeah, we'll attack them. If they do play a token, I guess we could bounce the Caretaker's Talent. Voice of Victory for 2 mana. I think we'll bounce that one, but we'll do it at the end step. Well, never mind. Can't cast any spells thanks to that creature. You know what? Let's just look at blowing that creature up. Get to put another counter So we have 3 mana that we can work with. And we will play the land for sure. And then, yeah, we will just smack the opponent. Next turn, maybe with the mana from Vivi, we'll look at unlocking the Steaming Sauna. Just for some extra card draw. They could, of course, have a kill spell right now. They flash that one in. You know what? I'm going to give them a fish token. They still get to draw off that because the fish token came in first. So, but yeah, we will do it like that at least. Make them replay the Innkeeper's Talent. And then are they going to copy? They do, so they get a card draw off that. And then that's fine. Hit a land drop, which is amazing. I kind of want to go Ill-Timed Explosion just for some card draw. And then I think we can get rid of 1 Cerberus and another land. Go ahead and wipe the board. And then I think we will unlock this door. So we'll get some extra card draw going. Opponent's down to 10. Ooh, we found a Mindsplice Apparatus, which is really nice. And since the opponent's so low, I think the Mindsplice Apparatus, and then when we find the Chocobo, we'll be able to end them pretty easily. Yeah, they do just have a Raise the Pass, but it's only for 2 creatures, so it's not the most value for them. And I mean, hey, we could just go with Ill-Timed Explosion again. So let's do that. Let's go with the Ill-Timed Explosion. Opponent packing no removal. Oh, and there's the Chocobo. So yeah, I think we get rid of Cerberus. Or do we just get rid of... You know what? Let's just decline it. Decline. We can flash in the Mindsplice Apparatus. Can also get down Cerberus. Let's do it like that. Let's get down Cerberus. Opponent's going to gain 1 life from that. We get to Surveil. Definitely don't need another Surveil land. Then we can drop that land. And then, I mean, we might as well attack the opponent. They will have to block. So that's at least 1 creature gone. And I just really hope they don't have a mass board wipe. But, I mean, we have a bunch of card draw going. It's a Virtue. So just 3 cards in hand. They get a card draw off that, plus their top deck. And you know what? I think we can actually get them this turn if they don't wipe the board. Because Cerberus is going to double it. Yes, 2 mana. I mean, they could have a Get Lost. But I don't think they'll see this coming. Yes, he attacks. I mean, he will get some card draw off that. But yeah, Cerberus is going to go to Chapter 2. Vivi can add 5 mana. We have 2 mana right here. Plus 2, 4, 5. So we can do it for X equals 10, and it's going to get doubled. So yeah, we can literally do it. It's going to be for 20 damage, which is amazing. And I'll show you guys as well. Here, right, cancel that. Just go ahead and add 5 mana right there. And then X equals 10. And it's going to get doubled. So we could launch a fireball to their face. But look at this. So yeah, we'll do it for X equals 10. Cerberus gets to copy it. So it's literally a 20 bomb going right to their face. That even counts as us casting a spell. So yeah, there you guys go. 10 damage to their face and then 10 damage to that creature right there. Of course, we could have directed all of that damage right to their face right there. So a really, really good game. I'm glad the opponent had no removal whatsoever. And yeah, we got the combo. Vivi with Cerberus. Like I was saying in the deck intro, it's the Mindsplice Apparatus that also gives us a really big discount. But since we got down Vivi early, he has 6 counters on him. One of them came from us casting this Choco right now. So he had 5 counters on him. So 5 mana that could be pumped in right there. And then, yeah, the Chapter 2 of the Cerberus, allowing us to double up on that spell. And like I said in the deck intro, hopefully the game goes on kind of long. So, you have 4 or 5 lands at that point. So, yeah, that was a really clean game. And we got the combo. So, GG. I mean, we don't have any blue. We do have 3 lands, though. I will risk it. I will risk it. Hope we can find a blue source. Get down Vivi on turn 3. Get down the Mindsplice on turn 4. I mean, if we don't find a blue source, we could just activate Demo Field next turn. Oh no. We did find a blue source, but I mean, if they just reanimate this Galta next turn, it's GG. And yeah, like I said, we have no graveyard hate, which does suck. If we could find a counter spell, that would be really good. So they dropped off a Coma. No counter spell. I think I will look for one. I'm gonna really hope they don't have I'm gonna decline that. I was gonna say I really hope they don't have a Zombify this turn, which doesn't look like it. I mean, missed a land drop, which sucks. We'll go with this one, and then that is destroy artifact, and that is an enchantment. So we're gonna actually just go for another stock up, and then we'll take a land, and I guess another Mindsplice. We are going to have to discard. All right, one more turn. If they don't have a Zombify, I think we'll be good. But I mean, they have drawn quite a few cards. They're a quarter of the way through their deck, so they should have one. That isn't one. And they don't have enough mana open. They have 3 mana available. They do discard a Valgavoth. I think I will flash in the Mindsplice Apparatus. Go ahead and say... How much mana do we have? I mean, I guess we will attack. They choose to double block. We'll go ahead and add blue. I meant to add 2 red, but it's fine. We're going to deal 3 damage to this one. And then... yeah, we'll just take out their Kiora. And then, yeah, we have 3 steps ahead available now, which is great. Need 3 mana for that. Unfortunately, we can't flash in Mindsplice Apparatus then. Sire of 7 Deaths, do we want to counter that one? I mean, the life gain would be pretty good for them, but I think we can just bounce it with Into the Flood Maw. So yeah, we're just going to flash in this one. And then I think we will just bounce it back to their hand. I'll pay 7 life for that. I don't mind doing that. And I mean, the opponent is already down to 6 life. I think we'll be able to finish them right now anyway, because we can go with Ill-Timed Explosion. Yeah, deal 1 damage there, and then we could go for a 3 steps ahead to deal another ping of damage, so they'd be down to 7, and Vivi would get another counter on him. So, yeah, we kind of just soloed that game with Vivi. Vivi, a really, really good card right there, and luckily the opponent had no removal, and like I was kind of guessing, I was really worried when they threw a Galta into the graveyard. I think it was turn 1, maybe it was turn 2. But yeah, we're really lucky they didn't have a Zombify, but like I said, we eventually did find our counter spell, so if they did play a Zombify, we would have been able to counter it. So yeah, GG. All right, guys, opponent goes first. They took a mulligan, but I think we'll keep our hand. 3 lands. Got some Abrades. Got Ill-Timed Explosion. Hopefully we can find our 4th land by then. And I mean, yeah, a discard deck that does really suck for us. an artifact or creature, and they can only take that one card. I will take a Vivi. Got Roaring Furnace on turn 2. Do we want to get that one down? I think we can hold for right now. They're getting their speed up. They got the Quarcy Revenant. I think we'll just go ahead and remove that one right away. Don't want them gaining any life. That kind of is counter to our strategy, because of course we're trying to one-shot them from 20. Any extra life they gain just makes it that much harder for us. So they probably get rid of this Vivi, and then they probably remove the one on the battlefield. But they are down to just 2 cards in hand. We miss a land drop, but luckily we draw a stock up, and we will take a land. And honestly, I guess another land. I really don't want to be missing any land drops. And next turn, if they don't remove our Steaming Sauna from our hand, we will just go ahead and play that one. They do nothing, which is really nice. They might be holding on to a few kill spells, is what I would guess, and drawing a Mindsplice Apparatus, really, really nice. Ooh, Archfiend of the Dross, that's pretty powerful, but what we can do... go ahead and unlock this one to deal 5 damage, and then we can go ahead and deal 3 damage that way, so maybe, potentially a demon deck, question mark. Extra card draw from the Steaming Sauna, really, really nice. Of course, they have another one, because why would they not? And then I do really want to flash in Mindsplice, so we will have enough to do a stock up. We'll take a Into the Flood Maw and a 3 steps ahead. And then we will just end the turn, draw an extra card. And then, yeah, we will flash in Mindsplice, start getting some very nice cost reduction. Let's hope they don't have another Dreams of Steel and Oil. They're going to give that one lifelink. Can we afford? I don't think we can afford to have them gain 6 life, just because, yeah, that is just so counterintuitive to our strategy. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and bounce this one right now. A little bit unfortunate that we don't have enough mana right now. Oh, but the opponent gives up. That's too bad, because it was turning into a pretty good game. We were slowly starting to outvalue them, really thanks to the Steaming Sauna. But yeah, GG. All right, guys, opponent goes first. We'll try this hand. We have 1 piece of the combo in hand. Might be a life gain deck. Might be a white control deck. In that case, I don't mind authority too much. If it is life gain, though, that is one of our rougher matchups, just because we are trying to one-shot the opponent from 20. They go with High Noon. I don't really mind that, so it is a mono-white control deck. So we at least have a lot of spells we can cast on their turn, and it is a life gain deck. Oh. Alright, well, we can get down Vivi. That will start adding some mana every turn, or every time we cast a spell. They have removal, though. Alright, well, that was your 1 spell for turn. And then we will get down this one. Do we just want to draw 2 cards? Nah, we'll save that. We'll save that. Another Healer's Pigeon. Don't care about that. That was your 1 spell for turn. Alright, I am going to go ahead and draw 2 cards. Roaring Furnace could be really nice. Honestly, I think we can drop off a Into the Flood Maw. And then we for sure will get down the Roaring, or the Steaming Sauna, just to draw some extra cards, which will be really nice. Ooh, they play some blue, so they are I guess a control deck, but this one, creature can't block. Hit a land drop, which is really nice. So for sure, we will go with Ill-Timed Explosion. And then we'll drop off a Vivi. And I guess a Surveil land, but hitting a land drop next turn would be nice. I guess we'll drop off 1 3 steps ahead. Draw an extra card is really nice. That might be how we actually win this game, just outvaluing them with our enchantment. That guy can be removed next turn thanks to us unlocking this. Go ahead, blow that guy up, and then a stock up. Could also look to counter their spell. I think we'll do that. We really don't need much card draw right now, just because of this one, and we have no maximum hand size, which is nice, so we don't have to discard the hand size. And yeah, I think their High Noon is hurting them more than it's hurting us. Fog Bank, prevent all damage that would be done. I really don't care about that. That's just to that creature, right? Yeah. Alright, well then we will go with draw 2. Yeah, we'll go with a draw 2. We can get rid of an Abrade and this land. Oh, we only have to drop 1 card off. Yeah, we'll get rid of an Abrade. Ooh, there's Mindsplice. So, Vivi 3. Yeah, we will have enough mana to do this. Let's see what's on top. We're looking for a Cerberus, honestly. So yeah, we can get down Vivi, and then we will have 4 mana to flash in the Mindsplice. They have their own Get Lost. Kind of surprised they didn't use it on our Steaming Sauna earlier. But hey, I'm not complaining. They're literally just in top deck mode right now, and it is a land, so we can go ahead and flash this one in. Start getting some sweet, sweet cost reduction. Now stock up only costs 2 mana. There is our Cerberus. We'll just take 2 of them. And you know what I think we'll do? We'll get down Cerberus next turn. And then the turn after that, we'll get down Cerberus. So the first one that comes down will be on Chapter 3. The second one will be on Chapter 2. Mindsplice will have popped off for a few more turns. And yeah, that will be a triple-double. I mean, they could have a counterspell right now. We get to Surveil. Definitely don't need another Cerberus. I will just crack these map tokens right now. Yeah, get that land out of there. We're honestly kind of looking for a counter spell, even though I don't know how many we have left. I will take a Choco Comet. Oh, we haven't even played a land for turn. Yeah, so we'll keep that one on top. Draw an extra card. Dude, in the top quarter of this guy's deck, he found all 3 of his Get Lost. Kind of wild, but whatever. We can just do that same plan again. So again, opponent in top deck mode plays the Healer's Pigeon. He has gained quite a bit of life. But yeah, we will go with Cerberus. You go ahead, gain that life. Sure. We'll keep Ill-Timed Explosion on top. And then next turn we'll get down Cerberus. Hopefully it's not a mass removal. Okay, but we can bounce that one because that guy gives him hexproof, so we can't target him with the Choco. But that's fine. But we will have to bounce this one on their end step because we don't want the Into the Flood Maw to get copied and then copied again. No attacks from us. We can get this land down. Go ahead and end turn, and I think we got them. So we got really nice cost reduction thanks to the Mindsplice. Yes, it's just another authority. All right, guys, this is going to be so, so awesome. Are you ready for it? Yeah, attack me with your Healer's Pigeon. I don't care. Opponent up to 31 life. We are going to bounce this one. All right, it actually doesn't get doubled because of Cerberus. Wait, but I wonder if High Noon, whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, copy it. I wonder if High Noon will only allow us to play one of these. Let's see. So this is reduced by 5. So how many lands do we have? Let's just hit them with the QQ. Wait, we're going to undo that. I want to keep 1 mana open, so 1 blue mana. Just so we can hit them with the Into the Flood Maw next turn. 6. So we have 10 mana right there. Minus 2 is 8. Plus 5 is 13. So we can do this for 13. And then hopefully it gets tripled and then doubled and then doubled. Or yeah, hopefully it gets tripled and then doubled is what I'm hoping for. But maybe this High Noon will actually block us. Oh, but it doesn't look like it. Yes, we got them. Bap. Oh, they're gaining some life. Bap, 13 damage. This, yeah, so we're going to double it right now. Yes, and then do another 13 damage. That was awesome, and I'm actually really happy. I was kind of nervous for a second. I thought High Noon might. I guess not, because it says each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. This is us casting 1 spell, and then this just says copy it. You may choose new copies. So, yeah, that was a perfect game, honestly. We weren't under too much pressure from the opponent. They did gain a decent amount of life, but yeah, you guys saw how awesome it is when you get a Cerberus on Chapter 2, another Cerberus on Chapter 3, got a nice little cost reduction thanks to the Mindsplice Apparatus, and then, yeah, we were able to launch, I think either 5, yeah, I think 5 fireballs for 13 damage to their face, so we got them. GG. All right, guys, opponent goes first. I will try this hand. Got the Choco Comet. Drawing a Cerberus as well. Have some early Into the Flood Maws. So, yeah. I'm liking this quite a bit. Can go with Ill-Timed Explosion on turn 4. Just for some extra card draw. Got a Soul Tie Gamer over here. Looking at our lands. They go with a Duress. Ooh, we have to reveal our hand. They probably take Ill-Timed Explosion. They might honestly take the Choco Comet, even though, I mean, we only really need one of them if we're doing the true, like, one-shot combo. So, yeah, Ill-Timed Explosion is probably what I would take. I mean, it's some extra card draw for us. If they have any creatures, can wipe the board. Mindsplice Apparatus is amazing. So we actually have the full combo in hand. Next turn, for sure, we'll flash in the Mindsplice. Of course, to an extent, does depend what they play. Might have to bounce some creatures. They do know we have these Into the Flood Maws. So it's an Emmet. So for sure, we will be bouncing him. Draw and then discard. I should have maybe let that resolve first. I don't know if they want him in the graveyard. They just get down a cut down. Or they discard a cut down. Sorry, you go for the throat. And yeah, we can go with Mindsplice. They just get this guy down again. We could counter him, but I think Mindsplice is just so much nicer. Because that will reduce the cost of 3 steps ahead. And then we can start pumping extra mana into the Choco Comet. So it's going into our turn. Flash this one down. Get an oil counter. Find a land. And then if we play this one, we'll just have 1 mana left over. So I think we'll pass. So we can counter a spell and we can create a token. Or we can create a token and draw 2 cards. So what the opponent wants to do, this creature transforms only when they have 14 or more cards in their graveyard. So they are a little ways off that, but I'm pretty sure they might have some draw discard type of stuff. I'll take 2 damage for right now. And destroy target non-land permanent. Absolutely not. So counter that one. We do have enough mana, so we'll create a token that is a copy of that one and counter their spell. So now we have 2 Mind Splices popping off. Draw a stock up that costs just 1 mana right now. That is amazing, and for sure we will take a land and I guess a Roaring Furnace. That is a pretty nice draw, and before we play the land, we'll actually play the Roaring Furnace, just so it deals 4 damage to this guy. And then we can get down the land. And the game goes on. They're down to 3 cards in hand. They got to draw for turn. They have 1 land. And what else do they have? It looks like they're hovering over the Mindsplice, so it could be another Awaken the Honored Dead. Just to destroy our Mindsplice. That would be a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, they do have it. Ooh, but they go for the Roaring Furnace. Okay. I'm honestly pretty happy with that. They have nothing else, so I think we'll honestly get down Cerberus right now. That one can mill a bunch of cards. Definitely don't need another Abrade. And then next turn this will be doubled, plus those 2 going off. Ooh, they milled and Awakened the Honored Dead. That's nice. I kind of hope they leave our Cerberus alone, but that will be able to destroy... Oh, that is really unfortunate. Return target creature to its opponent's hand, so I guess we'll just blow this guy up right away. Two, 4. So yeah, we can do this for 11 right now. Make that 12. We could do that for 12, but you may discard a card. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Did they return anything? Oh, they didn't discard. Can you believe it? Alright, well, stock up is a really nice draw. These draws are really not good, though. I guess I maybe should have taken a land, actually. Opponent with a land. This guy does have a lot of enchantment artifact removal. That really sucks for us, and they're hovering over the graveyard. Are they going to return something? Are they going to mill? During each of your turns, you may play lands. They have 2 mana available, so they can't play anything, so we'll just make them recast that creature next turn. We might honestly need to add some graveyard hate to this deck because so many... Well, you know what? We'll do this now. 2, 4. We can do this for 5. Let's just do it like that. Yeah, might really need to add some graveyard hate just because there are quite a few graveyard decks running around. Roots, a lot of cheesy reanimator decks, Raise the Past. Can he play anything? Could bounce him again, just make him replay him next turn. So they play a land, so they do have 3 mana available. Could go with a Awaken the Honored Dead. Yeah, the fact that this guy could just basically replay his whole graveyard every turn, that does suck for us. We don't really have a good way of removing this guy. Draw and then discard. He only has 10 cards in graveyard. Go with a Vivi right now, but they're just gonna play Awaken the Honored Dead. So let's say no attacks right now. Yeah, I can't. This guy just had too much removal. I can not compete with that. All right, guys, we got to go first. Do need to hit our 4th land drop, so this is a risky keep, but I will keep it. I will keep it. Could be a landfall deck. Did hit our 4th land drop, which is really nice. And it is a landfall deck. So we will go ahead and remove that little chocobo right away. Roaring Furnace is a nice draw, especially if we can get the steaming sauna down. I think we saw in another game just how amazing it can be. Opponent doesn't play anything. We found 3 Cerberuses. That is pretty funny. But yeah, we will just get down the Mindsplice. Opponent with no creatures or anything. That you love to see. And we do hit a land drop, but unfortunately, it does come in tapped. We'll have 5 lands next turn. I don't think. Yeah, I'll keep it. Hitting land drops is never a bad thing. Opponent with a land themselves. Ooh. And then a Summon Titan is going to smack us for 7 damage. Yikes. That is a big yikes. So we can get the land down. I think I will get down the Steaming Sauna, though. A Braid can do 3 damage, and that's it. But, hey, at least it only costs 1 mana right now. They get to return 2 lands to the battlefield. Another creature gains Trample and X with a number of lands you control. Oof. So we need to find some of our bounce spells, honestly. Big smack from the opponent. And it's our turn. Ill-timed Explosion could be nice for some card draw. We actually can remove this Summon Titan then, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then Ill-timed Explosion for 2. And then we will drop off a Cerberus and a land. Deal 4 damage to them, so they have no creatures on board. And then, I mean, I guess we could go with Fountain Pour. Into the Flood Maw is a great draw for us. There is a Traveling Chocobo. They can play lands from the top of their library. But they don't do anything, so I think we will create a fish token. Can at least use him to block. Find a Scry land, and before we do anything, we'll actually just unlock this one. Get rid of that Chocobo. Let's get our Scry on. Definitely don't need another land. And yeah, we will just say no attacks. End the turn. Draw an extra card. Vivi is a really, really good draw. So now we just need to find our Chocobo, or our Choco Comet. That's fine. That little token we can bounce back to their hand. And do we want to do it now? I don't think so. I think we're honestly fine. Honestly, just creating another fish token. This thing doesn't have trample, so I think we're good. Mindsplice keeps popping off. So yeah, we will go with Vivi. And then that one. And you know what? Let's get down Cerberus. Maybe we'll find the Chocobo by Chapter 3. And then I think we should have enough mana. Double Into the Flood Maw is nice. That will also add 2 counters to Vivi. So yeah, we just need to find a Choco Comet pretty soon. And yeah, the opponent's pretty slow. I really don't know what they're holding on to. They have a ton of mana. That gets a +1. Sure thing dog. Or should I say bird? Sure thing bird. Bird's the word. Yeah, we're lucky that this opponent isn't too aggressive. That Summon Titan could have been pretty bad. No. No. Could be quite a few protection spells, though. But, I mean, Vivi is going up to 4 toughness right now. And is this only doing 3 damage? Equal to its power. So I guess if they pump this one up, his power will go up. And it is a protection spell, but that was blue. Yes. So they do have protection spells, but it does come in the form of blue. So, yeah, we got rid of their token, and we got rid of 2 cards from their hand. I'm sorry if you heard the police coming. Hopefully they're not coming for me. All right, this one's going to be on Chapter 3 next turn. So, honestly, we're just going to go digging as hard as possible. We're going to sacrifice a token to draw a card. And we only have 1 mana available. Oh, we have enough to get down Cerberus thanks to that land. So that is amazing. So we'll get some scry going. Definitely don't want to land. Come on, Chocobo. Choco on top. I'm not even going to attack the opponent because I want them to stay here. Oh, ill-timed explosion. No. All right, we literally have to draw. I mean, I guess we could crack the fountain port. Does that give them hexproof? No, target creature gains hexproof. Dude, we are halfway through our deck. We're literally not nearly halfway. We have 32 cards, and we haven't seen a single Choco Comet, and I play 4 of them. Come on, game. You can't do me like this. Bart's. Okay, that did nothing. 2 cards in hand. Create a green bird token. Come on, guys. It has to be a Choco Comet off the top. I mean, that also kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. All right, I'm closing my eyes. I'm not looking. Please be a Choco Comet. Oh! Let's go. We're going to cook them. Double. So how much mana do we have? Vivi, go ahead and add 3 for us. We get a 7 mana discount thanks to that. And then, yeah, let's just hit them with the QQ. So 7 plus 6 is 13. Plus this 7 right here is 20. Minus 2 is 18. So we have them right on the dot with 1 damage extra. But guys, this is getting doubled. Bap. See, we get to copy it again. So another... Wait, did I just do that for 2? And the game goes on. I might be the biggest idiot in the world. We're not going to discard anything. We'll get down this Mindsplice Apparatus. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how big of an idiot I am. Aw. I'm sorry, guys. I might be the worst Magic player on Arena. Ay, ay, ay. All right, I'm going to close my eyes again. It worked last time. My eyes are closed. Let's see. Here's the done button. Please draw the Choco Comet. Aww. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Well, okay. Let's sacrifice this fish token to draw. Oh, all right. Well, we're going to stock up. We get a triple stock up, which is crazy. This should definitely find it for us. I mean, all right, there he is, and we'll take a Cerberus. And I mean, I guess a land and an Into the Flood Maw. All right, so we'll get down Cerberus. And again, we will just bide our time. Sure, we'll keep a land on top. We have 19 cards in library. And we do have some counter spells available, which is nice. All right, next turn, Cerberus is going to Chapter 2. I think I'll just do it right away. I mean, I guess we could wait for him to get to Chapter 3. Well, they do have some thick bodies coming towards us. Fenrir, I'm fine with. We have 1 Into the Flood Maw. How much damage are they doing to us? They have 1 card in hand. Okay, they're all out of mana. Create a bird token. I'm fine with that. All right, yeah, and he does nothing. All right, I'm going to make sure I do it correctly this time. These get, that's 11 mana discount. Next spell gets doubled. All right, QQ. 13 mana, -2. Wait, 13 plus 11 is 24, -2. So we can do this for 22. All right, pay 22, yes. There we go. And now this gets doubled. So we're going to be dealing 44 damage to them because it gets doubled. Oh, I could have even done even more because Vivi can add 8 mana. Wow, there's too much going on in this deck. But yeah, Fireball for 22 and then another Fireball for 22. I think we could have added 7 extra mana, so we could have done it for 29. So, but like I said, we should have gotten the opponent, I think like 3 or 4 turns ago. I guess I got a little bit too excited. There is a lot of thinking that needs to go onto this deck. You do need to plan out your turns quite a bit in advance. And yeah, there's quite a few moving parts. But yeah, really fun deck. Honestly, Steaming Sauna might be MVP. I love this no maximum hand size, and you draw an extra card at the beginning of your end step. It's kind of like the Unholy Annex in that mono black demon package. But yeah, this Steaming Sauna, I've been loving this card. I haven't really played with it too much. But yeah, the Steaming Sauna side really good, and the Roaring Furnace also really good removal. So that was a clean game. GG. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to the post-game wrap. Today, we looked at just absolutely deleting our opponent with a one-shot with the Choco Comet. 2 mana, and then X. Of course, we want X to be close to 20. Ideally, if it is 20, we can get it more than 20 sometimes. But yeah, we saw from the games, pumping in a lot of mana into the X cost so that we can do, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage to the opponent. And that is enough to one-shot them if we can combo it with the summon GF Cerberus, if we can get him down on, or he comes down chapter 1, and then we need to wait one more turn so that the chapter 2 triggers, and then when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, you get to double it. I think in one game, we really planned it out really far ahead, where we got down a Cerberus, and then we got down another Cerberus. So by the time the first Cerberus was on chapter 3, the second Cerberus was on chapter 2, and then we cast a Choco Comet that got tripled up from the first Cerberus we cast, and then doubled up from the second Cerberus we cast, which was a lot of fun to pull that off. And it is a little bit of a meme deck for sure. It's definitely not the most effective way of finishing the opponent. It is a lot of fun. And honestly, you need to think a few turns ahead with this deck, which I do kind of like. You need to, plan out your next 1, 2, or 3 turns. It's not just, smash the opponent's face with big creatures or something like that. So that does make it pretty interesting. And then, of course, another really nice way to increase the amount of mana we can pump into X is, of course, with the Mindsplice Apparatus. I love this artifact. Unfortunately, it will be rotating on the 29th of July, so it's only with us for another, few more weeks. So if you don't have all the wild cards for this and you are a bit more of a newer player, definitely don't craft this card because you'll only be able to play with it in standard for a few more weeks. But hey, if you are getting a little bit bored waiting for the next set to drop, and you do have the wild cards, this was a really fun deck. Mindsplice Apparatus worked really well, and honestly, Vivi, this card is super popular right now. I know it's in the Is It Spellslinger deck, and this creature also really puts in work as well. It can kind of be a substitute for Mindsplice Apparatus. Every time you cast a instant or sorcery, you get to put a counter on Vivi, and then you can activate his ability for 0 mana, which is amazing. And his ability is, of course, you can add in any combination of blue or red. You can add that much mana equal to the number of counters on him. So I think, was it in the last game we just played where I think we were able to do a Choco Comet? I forgot for how much. Maybe it was 13. Maybe it was 20. I think it was 22. And we had 7 counters on Vivi that I didn't even use because I forgot about it, just because there are a lot of moving parts in this deck with your Mindsplice Apparatus. Of course, you need to count up all your lands. You have Cerberus popping off. So I could have actually added an additional 7 mana as well, which I will say that is kind of crazy. Most people just remove this creature right away because he is such a big threat. And, you know, another thing that's so nice about him, every time you cast an instant sorcery, you're not just putting a counter on him to add mana, you're also growing this creature's power itself, and he pings the opponent for 1 damage as well. So that's a nice way to, you know, start knocking them off of 20 life, maybe get them down to 18 or 16, so that with a Choco Comet and it doubled up from Cerberus, you would only need to pump in 8 mana if it's doubled and they're at 16 life, or 9 mana and it's doubled and they're at 19 life. So Vivi also really, really good creature. So overall, deck was a ton of fun. And then the rest of the cards as well, you know, Ill-Timed Explosion for a little bit of a board wipe. You know, typically the biggest card you're dropping off is a 4 mana card. I believe it's either Mindsplice or Cerberus. So the max amount of damage you're only doing is 4 damage, but you can wipe out quite a few creatures that way. A Braid is a nice way to do 3 damage to any creature. Also destroy any target artifact is really, really nice. Stock up, you know, best card draw in Standard right now probably, along with 3 steps ahead, just for a little bit of counter spells. But also being able to create a token that's a copy of an artifact. You know, ideally you want to copy the Mindsplice Apparatus. That's probably the best thing you can do with 3 steps ahead, but also just being able to draw cards or counter a spell, really, really nice. And again, just for 1 blue mana, if you do have a Mindsplice on the battlefield, and let's say it has 3 or 4 oil counters on it, then just for 1 mana, I mean, if the Mindsplice Apparatus has 5 oil counters on it, you can use the 2nd and 3rd mode completely for free for just 1 blue mana. So 3 steps ahead in combination with Mindsplice Apparatus, also really, really nice. And then finally, Into the Flood Maw, really, really good bounce spell, helps you stabilize. Can set the opponent back a turn or 2, you know, if they cast an expensive creature, just make them recast it. And honestly, another MVP of the deck was the Roaring Furnace. And more specifically, the Steaming Sauna for 5 mana. You have no maximum hand size, and at the beginning of your end step, you get to draw an extra card, so you're drawing 2 cards per turn, which is, of course, really, really good, especially when you can stabilize the board, you know, knock out some of the opponent's creatures, maybe wipe the board, maybe set them back with Into the Flood Maw or a counter spell, just so they start running out of gas. And Steaming Sauna just, you know, gives you a card every single turn, which is really nice. The no maximum hand size, also a nice little bonus as well, just because we do have so much card draw in the deck as well. So I have actually really, really enjoyed Steaming Sauna. The Roaring Furnace, also really good removal card. You know, if you have 5, 6, 7 cards in your hand, it can do that much damage to a creature then, so then you can remove a Shieldred, for instance, or some of those bigger creatures. So Steaming Sauna was maybe low-key MVP of the deck. And I don't have any bonus games for you guys, but what I do have is a game. It probably would have been the best game of this entire video, but my arena crashed. Arena's been experiencing some problems the past few days. I was not able to get back in on time. I don't know if the opponent crashed as well. It was so sad because it was honestly an amazing game. I think I had 3 Mindsplice Apparatuses down. I was able to copy 2 of them with 3 steps ahead. So I had 5 Mindsplice Apparatus, and I think I had a Cerberus going off onto Chapter 2, and I think I had 10 mana or something like that. So I think I could have done a Choco Comet. I think it was for 22. I'm pretty sure it was for 22 damage that would have gotten doubled up. So I would have been able to launch 22 fireballs right to the opponent's face. And it was honestly a really, really good game. So definitely stick around for that one. But yeah, overall deck was a lot of fun. Like I said, if you're, you know, getting kind of bored and you do have the wild cards, I would give this deck a craft. It's of course not the most competitive deck, but it was a lot of fun playing with it, and I'm sure you guys would also have a lot of fun playing with it. And hey, if you don't have the wild cards, then at least I hope you enjoyed the deck. If you did and you made it this far in the video, please leave a thumbs up and maybe a comment down below. It helps me out tremendously, and I do reply to all the comments down below. And yeah, I've been rambling long enough, so I'm gonna end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out. Bonus game. All right, guys, we get to go first. I like this hand quite a bit. 3 lands. Surveil land on turn 2. Or sorry, on turn 1. Will we need another ill-timed explosion? I don't think it'll hurt. And yeah, we have the Cerberus. We just need to find our Choco Comet. Opponent with some Orzhov colors, so black and white, of course. Typically quite a few kill spells, so I'm not sure if Cerberus will survive. And yeah, they choose to get rid of Vivi. That is no surprise there. Yeah, let's just pass the turn. A bat. They choose one ill-timed explosion. Ooh, stock up, really nice draw. I think we'll go with the stock up. Make sure we hit our land drop. And a Into the Flood Maw, really nice. Have that available to bounce anything back to their hand. And then I think we can go with the Steaming Sauna next turn. Which is really nice because now we have no maximum hand size and we get to draw an extra card at our end step. So kind of like the Unholy Annex, just no life drain or life gain potential with it. But hey, another Cerberus, the three-headed dog, protects the underworld, I believe. Maybe he doesn't protect it, but he does something with it, that I know. Do we just get down another Steaming Sauna? Let's do it. So yeah, we are all tapped out. And we are drawing 3 cards a turn now. So I think we'll slowly be able to kind of just outvalue them that way. 2 stock ups, ill-timed explosion. They haven't played many cards for a few turns in a row, so I would not be surprised if they had a kill spell or 2. We can actually test the waters next turn. Maybe get down a Cerberus. Could also choose to get down a Vivi. Let's do that. There is a stick there, so could be a kill spell, but it's nothing right now. And let's just go with the stock up. And I mean, yeah, we'll have to draw these kill spells out eventually. They do spend all their mana to do that. That's fine with me. And I guess we'll just take some 3 steps ahead. I guess I could have also taken a land, but I think we'll be able to hit a land with our Steaming Sauna. Finally find a Mindsplice Apparatus. And we have the Choco Comet. Did miss a land drop. Opponent playing lots of graveyard hate, which unfortunately for them, we don't care about our graveyard one bit. Land drop, so just 2 cards in the opponent's hand. We hit our own land drop. Let's go ahead and get down 1 Cerberus. Probably just to draw out another kill spell. Do need to be careful that we don't deck out. We are down to 36 cards in hand. Oh, another Mindsplice. I will take that. So we can just start getting our Mindsplice Apparatus down. How many lands do we have? 7. So yeah, hopefully we hit a land drop, then we could go double Mindsplice next turn. Do we not have one? Oh yeah, we do. It's just all the way over here. Oh, and we drew a 3rd one even. Alright, opponent spinning their wheels a little tiny bit. Ooh, Kaya, that is amazing. And unfortunately, we don't have a counter spell. Yikes. Creature or enchantment. Alright, that's fine. But it's not really fine. Yeah, I will just go ahead and remove my own Cerberus. I don't want them to have that. This doesn't deal any damage to planeswalkers. Yikes, that Kaya for them was a really, really good draw. We do hit a land drop, though. So yeah, like I said, I think we're just going to flash in both of these apparati. Another Vivi. It's just going to eat a removal. I mean, yeah, I'll let them have the bat. Even though they... No, yeah, okay, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. Probably takes our ill-timed explosion. Yeah. But we can remove one of those bats. Yeah, Kaya has hexproof, so we can't target her. They're going to start draining us that way.
That's just a start.
Ooh. This is getting a little bit dicey. That Kaya really, really flipped the game on its head. That was a really good draw for them. Do we have any life gain? I don't really. Alright, but yeah, we will flash these in for sure. Flash both of those in. Opponent just going to exile some things. That's fine. I guess we'll go with an untapped land, and then what we can do... We could flash in a Mindsplice Apparatus and then make 2 more copies of them. We do need to find another Chocobo, though. Let's do that. I think we can afford 1 stock up. I guess we'll take an Into the Flood Maw. And I guess just another land. Alright, yeah, we have 2 of these Chocobos now. I think we'll be able to get them. Not sure we'll be able to one-shot them because they actually are gaining 3 life each turn, man. Kaya. Okay, they're going to exile that one. That's fine.
Time for your spirit to
What on earth is that? Can they unlock it? We'll take 2 damage there. I'm fine with that. They already used Kaya, so it's going into our turn. So yeah, we'll flash this one in. And then 2, 3, 4. Create a copy. Yeah, we have to tap 2 lands for that. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do it like this. And then with this one, we will create another copy. All right, so we have 5 Mindsplice Apparatus popping off right now. I could get a Cerberus down because they can't destroy it yet. So hopefully next turn, hopefully he survives for 1 turn. We don't need a land. We can choose to get down to Vivi as well. Wait, I just want to make sure I have some blue available. Yeah, we'll get down to Vivi. And then I think I am going to just, while they haven't unlocked it yet, I think I'll hold. We only have 1 color available to us. That is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, Kaya can only plus right now. I'm really hoping they don't have a kill spell. They scry to the top. They can draw with Kaya. Draw 2. Yeah, okay. That's probably a kill spell, I would imagine.
My target.
I'll take a land, sure. That's fine. Attacks or blocks, 7 or more. Whenever 1 or more cards. Lose life, that's fine. We're still at 9. Another lantern. Oh, I so hope Cerberus stays alive. Oh, they do draw a card off that. They have 4 mana to work with. Alright, so they don't have a kill spell. That was a really nice draw for, well, it's nice that we kept Into the Flood Maw open is what I'm trying to say, yeah, because they lose Sheltered by Ghosts right now. They don't have enough to replay Ketramos. And if they do have another Sheltered by Ghosts, they might, again, choose to take the Vivi, which I think is what they wanted to take, but I'm not sure. But, guys, fingers crossed. I think we got them. And all of our we have 5 Mind Splices popping off next turn. So another discount by 5. 3. Oh, what? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. What do you mean waiting for server? Oh my god, I think my game just crashed.